So this is your basic 50-gallon electric water heater. The elements is what actually heats the water. It's a connection, you can actually pull them out, but extends into the water heater about a foot. So it has two elements and they work at separate times. So the thermostat is what controls the elements. And so the upper thermostat will send power to the first thermostat. And the way it works is it's literally, it measures the temperature on the heater. And so it wants 120 degree water. And if it's 100 degrees, it's going to turn on the first element and then let that power up. And then once it comes up to temperature, it's going to shut it off. And then it's going to open it's going to let power go down to the lower thermostat. And if that isn't satisfied, meaning it needs to come up to temperature, it's going to turn on the lower element to heat up the water heater, the water in the bottom of the heater. If the water heater isn't heating up right, it's either most likely it's either a bad thermostat or a bad element. And so the way I do it is I'll test both the elements, and if they test okay, it's a bad thermostat. One of the signs that the thermostat's bad, if it keeps tripping for no reason, it could be a bad element, but 90% of the time when the thermostats trip, it's because there's something wrong with the thermostat. They just need to be replaced. Every once in a while, it could be a fluke thing, like a loose wire somewhere, or a bad element. But like I said, most of the time, just swap them out, both the upper and lower thermostats, and you'll get it working again. But I'll show you how to eliminate to make sure the elements are working right. Move this. This here is the element going into the water heater. There's two ways to test it. You can do an ohm test or an amp test. The ohm test, I think, is the best way to do it because it gives you a very accurate reading to tell you if it's good or not. So what you want to do is shut the water heater off, shut the breaker off to the water heater. And inside here, we're going to make sure that the power is off. There. Okay. So then we're going to go ahead and disconnect. You want to disconnect the wires to the element down here. And just pull them out. All right, and this is what we're going to use to test it. We're going to use a fluke meter, and it has continuity / ohm reading on it. It's this guy right here, the little horseshoe is what we want. And then we're going to take the two leads, and it should have a reading around 14. It'll tell if it's good or not. All right, so we're right there at 13, so that's a good reading. So we know that the element is okay, and you can do that with the bottom one. And both elements test to be okay. You replace the thermostats and get the water heater working again. If you do this ohm test and you're getting nothing, or if you do the continuity, you can hear it beeping. If it doesn't beep, it tells you that the element is broken somewhere. Sometimes you can get the continuity it'll beep and tell you it's connected, but it's partially broken, but it's not all the way broken. It's not working right. Long story short, the element's bad, needs to be replaced. So if you do this and you don't get any beeping or you get an ohm reading, definitely the ohm reading, it's a bad element, and you replace that element to get it working.